Have you ever noticed how your entire body changes when you hear footsteps behind you? It's a phenomenon that almost every single one of us has experienced, yet very few of us actually understand why it happens. In this explainer, we're going deep into the architecture of your own brain. We're going to peel back the layers of modern society to reveal the ancient, primal wiring that still dictates our everyday behaviors.
I want you to picture this. It's 10:30 p.m. You've just finished a long shift at work, or maybe you're walking back from a late dinner. You're simply walking home. The air is cool. Everything feels entirely normal. You know this route like the back of your hand. The streets are quiet. The glow of the streetlights casts these long shadows on the pavement. The hum of daytime traffic is long gone. And then you hear them. Tap, tap, tap. Footsteps. But they aren't in front of you. They're behind you. And you don't even turn around yet. But instantly, something inside you shifts. Without consciously deciding to do it, you begin walking just a little bit faster. Your breathing gets slightly heavier. You can feel your heart beating a little quicker in your chest. You might subtly check your peripheral vision or pretend to pull out your phone to look at a text message that definitely isn't there, anything to secretly gauge who is behind you. But here's the bizarre part. That person behind you hasn't actually done anything. They haven't spoken a word. They haven't made a threat. They're likely just walking home, exactly like you are. So why did your body react before anything actually happened? Why the sudden adrenaline? Why the immediate physical shift? Well, the answer lies hidden inside a deeply ingrained survival system, a biological alarm that has been protecting humans for hundreds of thousands of years. And honestly, once you understand how this works, you will never walk down an empty street the exact same way again. Let's look at how this plays out in real life. Meet Rahul. He's a college student. One evening, after a grueling, late-night study session at the campus library, he packs up his bag and begins walking toward his bus stop. The road is familiar, the streetlights are glowing softly, traffic is basically non-existent. At first, everything feels incredibly peaceful. But then, he hears the faint tap, tap, tap of footsteps behind him. At first, Rahul just kind of ignores them. But after a few seconds, the tension really starts to escalate. He notices something strange. The footsteps seem to be matching his pace. He speeds up his walk. The footsteps behind him seem to speed up too. Instantly, his heart starts racing. His brain completely floods with a rapid-fire sequence of panicked questions. Are they following me? Should I cross the road right now? Should I call someone? What if I'm trapped? Within a matter of seconds, his mind generates dozens of terrifying possibilities. Eventually, Rahul reaches a busy, brightly lit intersection. And the stranger behind him, they just walk right past, slip on a pair of headphones, and disappear into the crowd. Nothing happened. The stranger was literally just a commuter. Yet, Rahul's body reacted as if the danger was entirely real. It was a complete false alarm, so why did his physical system completely override his logical mind?
Here's what it all comes down to. Your brain is, fundamentally, a prediction machine. Its number one job isn't to keep you happy or rational. Its primary job is to keep you alive. And to do that, it relies on predictive processing. It absolutely cannot afford to wait until danger is actually confirmed, because in the natural world, waiting for absolute proof of danger usually means it's already too late. So instead, your brain constantly predicts possible threats long before your conscious mind is even aware of them. A shadow, a loud noise, or the sound of footsteps behind you immediately forces your brain to ask, what if this is dangerous? Most of the time, the answer is no, but evolution heavily rewarded the brains that ask the question anyway.
Let's dive into the neuroscience of this threat detection. Deep inside your brain is this tiny, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. The exact moment your brain detects possible danger, the amygdala does not wait to ask your conscious mind for permission. It acts. It rapidly evaluates the emotional significance of your surroundings, specifically scanning for potential threats. When it detects uncertainty, like unseen footsteps in the dark, it completely bypasses your slow, logical reasoning and immediately triggers your body's fight or flight stress response. What happens next is a lightning-fast neural cascade. The brain detects uncertainty, and instantly stress hormones flood your system. Your attention completely narrows, your breathing changes, your muscles are primed for sudden movement, and your walking speed increases entirely on autopilot. You didn't consciously choose to speed up your walking pace. Your survival system quietly and efficiently did it for you, preparing your body to run or fight before you even had time to form a complete thought. To really get this, we have to look back at our evolutionary psychology. Imagine living 50,000 years ago. There were no paved streets, no streetlights, no police to call. Only dense forests, predators, and other humans competing for scarce resources. In that world, if someone or something approached you from behind, simply ignoring them could easily be fatal. The humans whose brains became instantly alert were the ones who survived and passed those instincts down to us. Today, the lions in the dark forests are gone. We walk on mostly safe city streets. But the human brain hasn't had time to update its hardware. It still treats modern uncertainty as a potential life-or-death scenario. But why is someone walking behind you so uniquely terrifying compared to, say, someone walking beside you? Well, it comes down to biology. Humans have forward-facing eyes. We have excellent vision for what is ahead of us, but extremely limited vision for what is behind us. Unlike owls, we can't spin our heads around to check our blind spots. And remember, the brain absolutely despises uncertainty. If it cannot visually monitor a space, it automatically assumes that unmonitored space might require immediate attention. The unknown literally demands your brain's focus. This all ties directly into the psychological concept of personal space. Think of it as an invisible bubble permanently surrounding your body. When strangers enter that bubble unexpectedly, your brain immediately dials up its alertness. It's not because you rationally think every stranger in an empty parking lot is a criminal. It's because, historically, close proximity to an unknown person required split-second decision-making. This is exactly why being in a crowded elevator, sitting on public transport, or hearing footsteps echo behind you makes you feel so uniquely on edge. Your brain is relentlessly monitoring distance and assessing the environment. Now, think about that exact same physical environment, but change the time of day. During the daytime, on a busy street, there is high information and low uncertainty. There are cars passing, shops are open, you can see far into the distance. You wouldn't react strongly to footsteps then. But at night, vision sharply decreases. The crowds are gone. The environmental information is missing, which creates massive uncertainty. And when sensory information is missing, your imagination aggressively steps in to fill the blanks. And let's be honest, it usually fills them with your absolute worst evolutionary fears. And this overactive survival mechanism, it bleeds into so many other everyday occurrences. It's not just walking down quiet streets at night. It's the jolt you feel when you hear unexpected footsteps on a dark staircase. It's the spike of anxiety when your phone aggressively buzzes at 2 a.m. It's the unease of a restricted number calling you repeatedly, or those dreaded 4 words, "We need to talk." In all these scenarios, your brain creates disastrous explanations before reality has a chance to catch up. It is constantly trying to stay one step ahead of potential bad news. So, what are we supposed to take away from all this? The goal here is absolutely not to just ignore your instincts. If a situation genuinely feels unsafe, you should take practical precautions. Maintain situational awareness, move to a well-lit area, cross the street, or contact someone you trust. But at the same time, we must remember that our brains are ancient machines built to predict possibilities, not to predict the future with perfect certainties. Awareness of our surroundings, paired with calm, rational judgment, works so much better than blind panic. The next time you find yourself naturally quickening your pace because of a sound in the dark, remember this. Your brain isn't trying to make your life stressful. It is echoing millions of years of survival history. Our brains are ancient survival machines built to predict potential danger. But a sudden spike in adrenaline is not proof that every situation is actually dangerous. The modern world has replaced forests with cities and campfires with streetlights, but the brain remembers the old rules. And it leaves us with this fascinating realization. Sometimes, the oldest, most primal technology you will ever use is the one inside your own head. So stay curious, trust your awareness, and remember to lean on your calm judgment. Are you actually in danger, or is a 50,000-year-old ghost in your machine just trying to keep you safe?